And as I've been telling you throughout this morning on our Hanging Out feature this morning, we've got an award-winning artist. He's an author. He's a businessman. He's a broadcaster. His name is Sbusiso Leope, a.k.a. DJ Sbu. He's done a number of things, and today we're going to reflect on that and just celebrate him as someone who has written books that have inspired us, someone who's created music that has really gotten us dancing, and someone who has been behind the mic and helped shape some mindset of a generation. DJ Sbu, welcome to the show. Good morning.
Mr. Manyathela, sawubona kunjani?
Unjani bhuti?
Sibonga umusa.
Sibonga umusa.
Yeah, thanks to the grace of the Lord, and good morning to the listeners.
Thank you so much for making time for us.
Thank you for the invite.
Yeah, so I only see you at the gym.
So yeah, I'm trying to keep up with you.
No, I'm trying to keep up with you because when I get to the gym, you are normally leaving.
Yeah,
so you go to
leaving.
Gym normally after your show.
Yeah, after the 9.
Isn't that the best time to go to gym?
Best time, yeah.
It's so peaceful. There's like 3 more people.
It's less busy.
It's less busy.
Yeah.
So
and then bese nina niyafika lunchtime.
That's what we do. I want you to take us back to Tembisa because I always love hearing the backstories, right? I think we are obsessed with, the outcome, but we don't take a lot of time to reflect on what's actually happened that led to the outcome that we see. When you were growing up in Tembisa, how was life like? And did you always want to be where you find yourself here now?
God has been good. I never thought I'd be where I am today with everything I've achieved. God has really, really been great. Tembisa, I was born in 79, so I grew up in the 80s. So I'm an 80s baby. Memories that I have is memories of streets with no tarred roads, no street lights. Sabo khabo bani bachupile bafagugesi sobukela TV khona abanye babukela television nge-generator a Yamaha small one. Remember, we used to use candles. It was a really cool neighborly upbringing. I went to a school called Welamlambo Primary School. I went to Sipiwe High, and I went to a school called Madibatlo High and Tembisa High School. They're all around at Tembisa Koloza Corner. I learned quite a lot as far as my community is concerned. I know the entire Tembisa. Memories that come first is just that smell of the township. I don't know if you know what I mean. How it smells like. And it just brings those memories of the 80s when we, used to watch it. It wasn't SABC 1, 2, or 3 at the time. I think it was TV 1, 2, 3, that was my upbringing. But it was beautiful playing with other kids, playing soccer, so getting spanked when we were naughty. It's funny.
Yeah. Young people don't know what used to happen back in the day. They're missing out on so much. Do you think they do that these days?
Maybe some in some, maybe in Makai and villages. Yeah, and in some townships.
Yeah.
But it was just that ordinary township upbringing.
Yeah.
And with just this background conversation from parents speaking about this Mandela, and we used to just see this figure. Every time when we would see his picture, his eyes were covered. And you used to see this guy with a haircut and his boxing gloves. And they used to say he is Mandela. We're not meant to speak about him. I remember Ingoma Zabo, Puchiko, Twala. We miss you, Manelo. Where are you? Brenda Fassi. It was beautiful. It's beautiful memories. I'm thinking about where I grew up in Tembisa, and I'd like to thank everyone that's contributed in raising me.
When did your love for broadcasting begin? Did you start at the local radio station at Tembisa?
I always say I'm one of the few guys that have done all radio stations. So I've done community radio, internet radio, campus radio, regional radio, national radio, ALS, what we call today, your Ukozi, Mutsweding, Lesedi, those stations. I've done metro as well, commercial. And then I've also done internet radio with Massive Metro that we started a couple of years ago. And then now I'm back on Radio 2000. My love for broadcasting, I guess it started with just me chatting with the guys. I always love chatting with the guys, Ekoneni, or just growing up and talking about things that are happening around. No Kwerana, which is what normal township little boys and girls do. that's where it started. And I'd like to be the center of the crowd telling the story. If I watch the movie Rambo no Commando, Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'll be telling my friends about the movie, how it was. I try and paint pictures. So I was that guy, and also cracking jokes in between. I guess that was pretty much the love for broadcasting at the time. This is before CDs even. This is cassettes.
Yeah. So you've done broadcasting now. I think you've dabbled with acting. You're on
Yeah,
Generations at some point, right?
I did
And
Generations. I've done Istingo. I've done Izo.
What have you? You've done Izo.
Yeah.
Which season?
Season 3.
Season 3.
Season 3, yeah. I've done Izo. That was funny. And that was fun. That was really fun. I'd like to thank Gutebo Khomahlati, may so rest in peace, for giving me that opportunity. Desiree Maghraf as well as Angus Gibson.
Yeah.
That was a really great family. They looked after us and they gave me a hand in acting.
Yeah, Izo was way ahead of its time. I had Angus Gibson on this show and I was just like, do you actually understand how big of a project that drama was?
It was huge.
It was so huge.
It was so huge that when I was working at YFM was a popular youth station in the country at the time, and it was new. Everybody listened to YFM. Izo was so huge that the person that was doing the time slot that would play at the same time, which is our afternoon host now on Radio 2000, Mr. Paul Mnise, he would struggle to get calls. He would get people to call in on air, and there would be no calls.
Because
everyone is watching Izo.
So which one would you say is actually your first love? And I know this is an unfair question. So broadcasting, having dabbled into, I mean, you did Friends Like These.
Yeah.
That was my favorite show growing up. Like, it was just the best show. Great concepts, and the way you just dabbled and had a conversation with the friends was so much fun. What would you say you enjoyed the most?
I went to so many interviews trying to get on television as a presenter. It was so difficult to get on that I'd missed so many jobs because I joined an agency called Gaino at the time. And the lady looked after me who worked at Gaino. I always give her flowers. Her name is Lisa Mudisane. She runs her own agency now called Legends. She looks after creatives and actors. She gave me an opportunity to go audition at Urban Brew. And then I auditioned for a show called Castle Loud. That was just before Friends Like These. I almost got Castle Loud. I was shortlisted down to the end with Unati and Stone Theatre from Pongo Muffin. Didn't get that one, wanted to give up, didn't want to pursue TV. Lisa sat me down and said, you're almost there. 3 months later, I got Friends.
Weren't you guys popular already at that time?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
Stone was. He was Stone from Pongo Muffin.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, these guys are already famous. They're taking all these jobs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Open the industry.
And I was angry. I was like, Stone, you could have let me have that gig. There goes my television opportunity. Little did I know. You know how God works.
Yeah.
Then he opened up the Friends Like These door 4 months later.
Did you audition for that as well?
I auditioned for that as well. There were thousands and thousands of us.
Wow.
And then I made it. I made it onto the cut. And little did I know that show would make me a household name in this country.
How long did you do it for?
For 10 years.
Dude.
Did that for a decade, bro.
Who does a show for 10 years? That's amazing.
Started 2005, all the way to 2015.
Consistency.
Years. And this is prime time SABC One on Saturday nights, right? So I had so much fun that right now I meet people who are like, yo, bro, you brought us up, bro.
Oh, man.
When is that show coming back?
And you feel old.
It was a brilliant concept because it was a BBC concept.
Oh, yeah.
At the time, it was done by a guy called Ian Wright. He was a famous soccer player in the UK. At the time when they presented the show to me, they were like, if you can just do it in a South African way and own the show. It's a franchise like Abo Idols. It's not a South African show. A lot of people forgot that. I think I made the show mine. And so much so that, I'd present the show with no script. It became home. And with Urban Brew and the people that I worked with over there, I had so much fun,
Did the trips actually happen? Because some people argue.
Yes, they did. I know.
So they did go on trips. The friends.
It's just that it was before the social media era.
Yeah,
right?
so you couldn't post and say, Friends Like This sent us here.
I still get that. A lot of people are No, the trips did happen. So how they would happen, it wouldn't be multiple trips every weekend.
Yeah.
We would wait for the entire season's winners.
Okay.
And then we would know that other people had work and they're busy. So we would schedule around festive season for this entire ship to go.
Oh, that was a dope show, bro.
Thank you, bro. I had a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, and big ups to you for having just steered it in that way. Okay, we have to play some music as well. I don't know what to start with when I have someone who appreciates and knows music like you. So, angazi, spelling on.
Maybe start with For a Reason.
Yeah?
DJ Sbu and The Observer, For a Reason.
Tell me why this is so special for you.
Because everything happens for a reason. The little did we know when we made this masterpiece, myself and Natty Nice. By the way, his other name is Natty Nice. He goes by The Observer, his other alias. We didn't know how much of a classic it would become. And then it was already a big song in the US. It was originally done by Jeanne. Oh, sorry, is it Jeanne? Yeah, Jeanne, right? Let me see. Yeah, For a Reason, yeah, Jeanne. So many memories, man, because I never thought that I'd become the man that I've become today. And I never thought, growing up in the 80s, seeing that violence, political violence at the time, I never thought I'd grow up to become 45 years old.
Yeah.
Morning, Clement 702. And a big shout out to DJ Sbu. I first knew about him on Friends Like This. I loved that show, and that's where I loved him. He is such a big crowd puller, hey?
Thank you.
Clement, morning, DJ Sbu Moketi here from Parktown, man.
Morning.
Yeah, man, your career brings a lot of memories to some of us, growing up in that time of our lives, especially this song that you've just requested. Everything happens for a reason, man. Oh, you put me in what you call this, man? Time of my life where, dreams were still there. They are still there, but your songs were motivation. Remember, oi, oi, it's what I do. Thanks, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Morning, Clement. Casey here from the south. Also morning to your listeners and Sbu there, DJ Sbu. I have one question. Since Sbu is in the space of energy drinks, I've always wondered that why is it that in terms of energy drinks, you are hardly, especially with this up and coming energy drinks company, you hardly see them with like your 330 milliliter bottle or can, because most of them is like 400, 440. And I can tell you, you drink half of that, you are already fine, right? It's like you can do with half of it. And also, isn't it that the owners is also on them? I understand it's business, but also isn't it their responsibility to also teach people that you can't be drinking energy drink every day just because it tastes nice? Yeah, that's my question. Itara.
All right, thank you so much for your questions. Yeah, Sbuda.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man. We've got a disclaimer at the back of the can, and the mass market prefers the big cans, the 500 mils. And I think when we started, we went the 330, the smaller can. We went the smaller can. We're inspired by Red Bull. That was very difficult to get into the marketplace, and then we had to change our strategy and go 500 mils. It was not our intention initially. We had thought we were going to go to the Red Bull space. We didn't do well at all. Our business could not take off, and then we changed. We're like, let's go 500 mils and let's go for the mass market, and that's how it took off.
Ah, wonderful. So, someone spoke about how your music was just so inspirational, and I do remember. I've got a cousin who introduced me to a lot of especially deep house music. His name is Temba. Every time I was in his car, at the time I was driving a Runex. It had just come up, and we used to open the windows, and he'd be playing this kind of music. Remember when it rained?
Yeah.
Or just for a reason. Was it always the intention to be inspirational in the tone, in the texture of your music?
Yeah. Little did I know when my mom was always drumming it in, from when I was a kid, mhlambe ngiyalwa ney'ntwana ezinye sikalwa nalibana babanga man. Wena uSbusiso, igama lakho uSbusiso. Yeah, ungalwi uSbusiso. So I didn't get it earlier on in my life. But over the years, I got to understand it. And from when God blessed me and I started doing well in my 20s, we were very intentional about everything I did. Whether doing an appearance, whether being on radio, things that I would say, or what radio station to go to, or which gigs to take. What clothes to wear, very, very intentional, but about all the other projects that I've done, including music. With music, I've always wanted music that is going to be timeless, that's going to be inspiring to people. And I think we've achieved that because it's 20 plus years later, and a lot of people still speak about how our music made them feel over the years,